because he over-peaked, that made the difference. But if he didn't, there was only 10 seconds left on the clock. He could have actually delayed long enough to make that round fail. And so I kind of worry for Tempo Storm, as that wasn't the best of rounds when they had so many things going for them based on their kills.
Well, Config, we saw earlier his Deagle work on Mirage and some of those early rounds, causing a bit of damage. He had the Deagle into this round, but was taken out immediately. Rubino's also fallen. Phelps through the vents. Will turn at the Heat to take down MSL. And looking for another kill there onto the man on Highway. Doesn't quite find it now over the Toxic Barrels. Headshot onto Kirby, and he's pretty sure he sent someone running this way. So he was hoping to find Tensky at the truck. But he'll get him on the other side.
Back-to-back 4Ks for Phelps. One of them rifle, one of them eco. But he'll take those any day. Any day, and he's saving his teammates from getting killed on those the eco round. So even though those kills are actually like worth less, you know, pound for pound, because there was no armor behind them, it's still really important that you clean up those eco rounds cleanly. And now Dignitas 2-2 with Tempo Storm, but on a save once again. And wow, that losing that round really hurt them.
It looks like they want to get in very close, either aggressive on both sides of this mid-main exit, playing around the smoke. Thought for a sec they might go for the counter boost, and maybe they still will. We actually see Config going over, and it will be sneaky beaky-like. But they're so ready for this on the other side. Yeah,
just your classic anti-eco default, and I think they're not completely sure whether or not Dignitas are saving, but have the suspicion that they might be. And all this double peek with the CEZ was way too powerful, and they might be able to wait someone out into giving up their spot now, holding in this default. Config. Oh, it's getting challenged now. It's known.
Yeah. So he has been spotted out. I thought at first maybe it was just Lucas getting bored and shooting some shots, thinking someone might be sitting there and just trying to get that headbang through the wall. And whoa, Config! There's a headshot, and it was through the box onto Bolt. So man advantage. Actually, they're up 2 right now with the Bolt and Phelps both down on Tempo Storm. And AK now over onto Rubino as well as a Molotov. So you can have a real impact on this round, and even Tensky from this range with that Deagle, right? You hit the shot. I'll actually try to just line up a few through the smoke, but Tempo Storm hasn't quite gone through yet. Molotov will push MSL back further along that red crate. Showtime will take him down. Lucas to bring down Kirby, who is trying to hide out in the smoke on the back of Forklift. Tensky up on the bomb wall will miss a 1-dig. That allows Lucas to slide into the default spot. It's Henny through A main that finds Config, and now Tensky 1 versus 3 with the dig. It's not going to be easy.
Wow. Props to Tempo Storm for surviving that round 3v5 and maintaining 3 alive. Like everybody hitting their shots, Dignitas were all on fast rotates to A and still couldn't get a single frag. So that should have been a round that Dignitas cleaned up considering their advantage. I mean, even though they were on an eco, they had half armor and they had CZs, and they had such a big man advantage. Like if you play that round out over and over again, Dignitas almost certainly win that at least 40%, 40-50% of the time. So the fact that Tempo Storm didn't lose a single player is notable. For sure. Oh, that's how I throw that flash too.
There you go. Just one step away from playing at your own LAN finals there, Launders.
From playing a Brazilian invite.
All right, flash out from MSL, and you know I'll get in as well. That's how I throw that flash now after I stole it from MSL. So he does pop flash his way out of checker to find one, but Phelps is on the trade out, and some spamming through those garage doors through A main. Not too much happening from that.
Oh, but we've got checker control already taken by Tempo Storm, which is enormous. I mean, even leaving Phelps here to not do anything is big, but oh, flash retake.
Whoa, just missed him. All right, he'll run right into the arms of Config, who's playing out in the pit there. And he doesn't actually reposition. I guess he really can't. Oh, no, he does. He has walked down and he's going into checker.
Oh, we have so many CTs focused on B right now, and Config has B. Oh, checker control, and that pop flash could have done so much damage, but instead Lucas peeks at the perfect moment, gets the kill, puts Rubino under a lot of stress right now. CT's being smoked off, and he's a lone man on the site. Lucas gets flanked from the position that he flanked from. Rubino gets dinked, goes right to a headshot angle. Good play by him, and secures a frag. Excellent round from Rubino. And everybody, Team Ace.
Yeah, it was a Team Ace there for Dignitas. I was actually getting pretty worried as, yeah, we saw Tensky, I think it was, flanking for the vents, get that first kill, but then Rubino just gets gushed immediately. You're like, uh-oh, he's going to fall off the site, and now it doesn't really matter that Tensky's behind them, but he stands tall, he gets those frags, and they will find that round. So already we're going neck and neck. We had 2 rounds for Dignitas, 2 for Tempo Storm, and then 1 each. And that's going to take us up to this 3-3 score line.
It honestly seems like Tempo Storm's B hits are just a little bit weak. And it also seems like they favor B quite a bit. So the only thing I hope that they improve on is instead of like they get to a point where they're almost like way too patient and nobody's actually just running in with a teammate. And I think that they will fall apart if they give Dignitas that little bit of time to get situated in the site or readjust with rotations. MSL though shutting down the first person to make presence at B. That's Phelps, who's been on fire. And Rubino with a late peek mid might be able to get a kill on highway. Yeah, he does. Oh my gosh, what spray control. Doesn't get the first one right away, but comes back after he gets the most insane flick headshot.
That was nice.
Up highway.
Interesting on this round, right? Dignitas have just completely gave up mid control. They had 3 players on A and they had 2 on B. And they're like, you know what? We'll give up mid control. We'll let Tempostorm take it, and then we'll just take it back from them. Seems to have been the idea. Here's Bolts with somewhat of a response, but maybe a little too late. He gets that shot onto Kirby. They're going to try to work it up highway.
If you're a Tempostorm, are just not as well versed on this map then, or as comfortable, I guess I should say. But Bolts catching Rubino, looking for the late peak mid and the Galil spray.
Nice
wow,
spray
showing
control.
us how it's done.
That was perfect spray control on that Galil. Not actually, that hard of a weapon to control, but the pattern is a lot different than you would expect. And he is able to get the bomb down because of it. In a 1 versus 2, he gets that quick pop flash out.
Wow.
Well, we can see from that 1v1 cam that MSL was extremely blind, but Config coming around the bomb wall was not at all.
Yeah, that could have been really... I swear you could have thrown that to blind both players, and I thought that was what was happening. But didn't have a good angle on it, and MSL gets the kill. So Dignitas come away with another round. Honestly, Rubino was the man to just get the 2 kills on highway. Insane frags from him. But there's not. I feel like Tempostorm are a little bit timid right now. I don't feel the fierceness. And also, Dignitas are just super confident. They're just rocks right now, and I think they're confident themselves in playing slowly, giving up control. They're doing a great job of retaking things when the time has come, and have B on lock for the most part as well, where Tempostorm love going. So.
Also something to note, we saw on both the first 2 maps that it was Tempostorm all fragging together, right? But now they're just being carried by Phelps, and it's Dignitas that all have their kills really close to one another. So a big team effort here for them. We've even seen some team aces, and well, very quick onto this B site. It's Bolts 1 versus 2. He's got back here, but he doesn't have the bomb, and that's a big problem. He's gonna have to walk back. Well, run rotation still coming over, that's Tensky, but the crossfire is gonna be set up soon enough, and it will be hard for Bolts to get off this site. Flash to go in, Molotov to the back of the site. Will they check low? And yes, it's the first thing Tensky looks at. He threw the Molotov backside. No one ran out, so he looks at headshot.
Yeah, surprised to just peek him there, but he took the fight. And Dignitas win that round, and they're looking pretty confident. Tempostorm invested a little bit there, but because Dignitas have won, I think, 5 in a row, now they have... or it would just be 3 in a row. Okay, so still a pretty good position economically for them, and Tempostorm, I guess, just invested a little bit, knowing that they'd still be able to buy, following up into the 9th now, and Dignitas have this game going in their favor. Pop flash and A main to get control of it. They find a kill for their efforts, and looking to control their spray. The last bullet
always hits.
Kirby was looking to shoot, ends up getting the headshot on the man over spam box.
I almost wonder if the M4 is programmed that way. Like, that last bullet always seems to be that final headshot after the spray control. And there's Config with 1 as well, onto Phelps. Dignitas with the man advantage, 3 on 2. Showtime.
Whoa.
Ooh, looks like they caught wind of each other somehow. Maybe a sound cue, but some early bullet shot. And it will be Kirby who ends up going down in that exchange. And a Molotov now onto Tensky's position. He hasn't quite been burned down, and they've lined up perfectly for him. Very surprised he didn't come away with both of those. He might be surprised himself. And Showtime's gone up top, and it's Config coming up the highway to find his 2nd kill of the round.
A 1v1, mind you, now around the Dignitas. That they try to make it really aggressive really fast. I think they know that Tempostorm most of the time are going to play their rounds out relatively slowly. Especially on this map, it seems it's just been default straight up, unless it was their it's their eco or their half buy where they try to do an explode B. I wonder if Tempostorm are going to do something similar. They like to wait out nades a little bit and then just group explode something. So, but I feel like Dignitas have a good beat on that so far, and the B split is going to be met with an MP9.
And MSL's actually here supporting as well. He's going to get that nade in. Thread the needle, doesn't come away with the frag. Kirby was able to get 1 more, so he picks up $1,200 for the MP9, so that thing is paid for itself. And MSL moving in to clear at the back of Checkers, but Lucas strafing out with the MP9 that we talked about. He's able to get one more kill, but Rubino will go in and end that. So now it's Bolt 1 versus 3 with the bomb. 29 HP and a Tech 9.
I'm surprised how aggressive Dignitas are getting. They don't really want...
Plant.
What's that?
If he goes to A fast enough, there's no one there.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually just running the entire way, too, so it looks like he's going to be able to get a bomb down. No, he's going to fork. He doesn't expect the entire site to be given up. I think for good reason, but surprisingly enough, Dignitas are all on rotates, and Config kills him before he's able to even attempt a plant. That's pretty funny. He did like the perfect thing, ran to the other side as soon as possible, but then decided to change it up. I think, assumed that would have been crazy for no one to be at A.
He started to play for the round win instead of just getting the money.
I guess, but I mean, he must have assumed someone was on the site. If he knew that site was completely empty, he most certainly would have gone for the plant. I mean, I don't know how he could have caught 3 players off guard from that position with a Tech 9. But now Dignitas have a huge lead, and the rounds at Tempo Storm 1. I don't know. I think they're almost lucky to have them. It seems like Dignitas have a much better grip on this map so far than they do. Ooh, you can actually boost. I just realized that you could boost on top of this light from right here and not have to walk to Toxic to boost onto Shroud. Or Big Box, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that might actually work out.
Yeah, you could just get yourself up on the light. It's much safer.
Can't you hit the light jump yourself, too?
I mean, you can do that, but you have to have the door open.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The door has to be open. And you can't even open that way unless there was some like weird bug that you could do and you could open the door towards you. I don't quite remember the specifics of it.
It would be cool if you could hold E and pull the door. I mean, it makes sense that they should do that.
That's next level mechanics right there. Tensky is actually, flame on. He's going to take down Henny with that Molotov or Incendiary from the CT side. Showtime hearing this, he knows some players have crossed over to his left. Of course, to open the door, he will make noise, and he's going to go down through it. Tensky reacting to that so quickly. And now it's just 3 members of Tempo Storm. It's Phelps that's been doing the heavy lifting right now. Can he find this frag? He's bouncing out those flashes so he can try to get out of the angle that he's been stuck into. Now he'll throw out a Molotov. It's just desperation, trying to use that utility for something. But here are Bolts and Lucas getting the kills. Kirby's gone unnoticed at Forklift, and before the smoke goes down, Kirby will find Bolts, and it's Lucas on just 10 HP. It's going to be a hard battle to win. And yeah, he can't do it. Kirby will take him out. Dignitas now 8 rounds. And the tactical time comes out.
It feels like Tempo Storm don't have an easy time when they don't feel prepared on a map. They don't have an easy time, quote unquote, pugging it. Like, they don't have I guess their adaptations on their fly stuff is a little bit weak, and that's maybe why they lose out in so many like big leads when they have them. But I think on this map I see a little bit like the timidness is just not suiting Tempo Storm, who have beast fraggers who are highly aggressive. You have emotional players you can see from the way that they act when they win rounds or win games, and I don't think they're playing like themselves right now.
Yeah,
I don't think they're playing to their personalities.
And Richard talked a lot about Kirby on the A site, and so far we haven't really seen any crazy executes coming out onto that site from Tempo Storm, but Kirby's still being tested, and he's got 10 frags right now, so he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is another point that's really important to look at, because Dignitas are playing well. Like Rubino has had that notable round, which was just like, Tempo Storm got a lot of map control in that situation, just got completely shut down by the retake on mid. So there is that, but it just seems like Dignitas are way more confident giving up map and then retaking it. They have all the timings down, and Tempo Storm it makes Tempo Storm look like they also don't have the ability to win in the late round. It seems like the early round they have figured out, but as soon as something doesn't go right, or as soon as they're given too much map, I think they get kind of scared.
Mm-hmm. We've actually seen Dignitas has given up middle control like on quite a few rounds. Yeah. Tempo Storm gets out there, they're like, all right, we got control. Now we've got the middle control. Let's adapt it, I guess, to kind of bring that word back into it, and either to a B split or to going A. But they then just keep getting shut down. Dignitas tosses their utility back in, and even though it's not a bomb site, they've just been retaking middle on a few of these rounds.
Yeah, definitely.
And then also everyone on Dignitas is just playing well. It's been a big team effort. I feel like I've noticed every single round we've had 4 people getting kills. Just 1 person left down and 1 guy, of course, getting a double. So everyone is fragging very neck and neck. And then meanwhile, it was like that for Tempo Storm on the first 2 maps, but now it's really just like, it seems to be Phelps who's doing most of the killing.
I'd just like to see Tempo Storm like forget the map control for now and just try to do fast splits, like a fast B split or a fast A split, and like that strategy that Richard was talking about, like a full A hit, with straight up smokes. It's not something they've tried yet, and something they maybe should try. Their executes are saving for rounds that they don't have much money on, and they're just trying to make do with what they have and just do something fast. But that round actually came down to a 1v1. You know, like maybe if they turned up the pace a little bit, they'd have a little bit more success, and that's how I feel.
And here we are back into the game. It's going to be 3 Galils and a Tech-9 there on Henny. It's just Lucas. And here comes that run boost. Barely made that one. But Tensky will
just such
get
a
over.
huge position to be in right now versus this A hit that's about to come in their way.
And let's see, are they going a bit quicker? We've got 25 seconds off the clock now, make it 30. Tensky's still up here, and it looks like he will be going unchecked. He starts putting in those bullets, already dropping the bomb, and now there's some confusion. Kirby capitalizing on top of that one. That's capitalized, spelled with a K, because he'll come away with a 3K.
Wow. Dignitas just, you know, I wanted Tempo Storm to do that. Like, from my perspective, it just seemed like that. It's time now to group up and hit something really quick or like more out of spawn, because your default has just not been working, and you're not looking like yourselves late into the round. But then they go for it, and Dignitas have a perfect response. They have like someone gets boosted shroud immediately at the beginning of the round, and that pays off in dividends as he gets like 100 to almost 200 damage off, and that's just so much work for his team.
Oh, and
so much stress off their back.
There was also another round where Dignitas kind of gave up middle, right? So they had 3 at A right away.
Yeah.
So you run that fast strat into basically the strongest possible A defense.
Yeah.
That's very difficult. And Kirby once more. Some bullets going into that forklift, but it won't matter. He's got the A4. Wow. Plenty of bullets for him. Lucas cleans him up, but then it's Rubino there immediately on the trade. And Showtime left on 12 HP, and the bomb in a very difficult spot for him to obtain.
This is also feeding into the narrative that Richard pointed out again, and that's that Kirby's just been so good at A site, and that's just like his site, and he has been doing so much work. Now, the thing is, Tempo Storm have favored B very often and have gone there, except that when they go there, it works out for half the round. They get control of something, then they wait too long, and then it looks like the round's about to fall apart. The rounds they have won have been on B, and I think in part due to a stroke of luck, but ultimately, they should, I feel, go back to that B hit, except just turn up the pace. Instead of go for map control in the B hit, or go for map control into B hit into the set smokes. Because when they go for like leak into the site, they just go down one at a time and lose. And I think that's the only part that they're falling apart in. And I don't think they should look at their B hits and say they're bad, but that, you know, one part, the last part, isn't working out so well.
Oh, wait, no, Showtime's on the other side. I was like, I thought he had already worked his way up the lockers. I was like, this is dangerous for Tensky, but nah, he's good. He's in the clear. Henny realizing they may have pushed is just holding a bit of a strange angle there, looking into the stairs, so he'd certainly win that. But Dignitas are like, they've been holding the sites so well. Like, why do they need to push forward for any extra information? They really don't, and they won't. Yeah,
they don't. That's exactly it. Like, their site holds are so strong. Like, Tempo Storm are going to be too afraid to even take middle because it's going to be given to them. They're going to waste resources doing it, and there's a potential for Dignitas to be playing it passively. And then, you know, what do they do with middle? I don't think they even know. It seems like Dignitas are ready for it, no matter which site they go to.
Well, we didn't have Tensky go down. He opened the door and tried to look a little further down the hallway that Squeaky leads to, and he died. Showtime took him down. He was on one of those boxes boosted and just holding a small little sliver of an angle and got away with the kill unscathed. So man advantage for Tempo Storm, and maybe it's not too late for them to try to salvage this out and get 5 rounds in the first half. It's not great, but it's something. It's a lot better than a potential 12-3. And here's Phelps and Bolts leading the charge over on into B. Config almost having them lined up, but it's Bolts that just keeps on fragging. Finds a second of the round, and Phelps to stop Rubino there as he's on that upper catwalk.
So a couple of things. Getting the opening pick is the first thing to remember. That's what they did really well there. They got the opening pick. Then they had one person lurk out in the mid control, and Phelps actually didn't push into CT, which is something that you might do once you have Z as a terrorist and no one spotted you. Instead, he just waited for someone to come and try to retake mid, which is kind of a big no-no, but because Dignitas were down a man, it's understandable that they wanted to come and try to take it back. But late round, you don't really want to retake mid in general because you can't plant there, and you know, you're only going there if you can look for a lurk kill, but it ended up being the CTs to get lurked on. And wow, Bolt's opening up this round with a frag as well. That means 5v4 for Tempo Storm, and a little bit more hope for them in this half along with that.
And we have actually seen this kind of buddy system aggression out into B main quite a few times. Generally, they were doing it on their anti-eco rounds, kind of throwing a submachine gun with the rifle to support it. But this time, Bolts just takes both players down with the rifle. And Dignitas were falling behind, but look at Rubino and Tensky kind of pulling it back with those 2 kills. They get it into the realm of possibility now. Just 2 flashes in a kit. Now just the 1 flash on Rubino, but that one was very effective, right? That let the bolts go down. Tensky takes him for free, but Showtime was right there, and Showtime to finish it off. So I would say that's salvaged, right? It was looking pretty brutal, but Tempo Storm do take those last 2 rounds of the first half, and it's a somewhat competitive scoreline now.
Definitely.
And with that, it's 10-5. We're going over to the second half in just a bit. But before we do, quick break. So stay tuned. You don't want to, if any. But now, of course, that 10-5 scoreline, Tempo Storm, you know, if you are just joining us, they did kind of salvage it. They were getting wrecked. It could have easily been a 12-3, but Tempo Storm come away with the last 2 rounds of the first half. And now it's going to be a lot on this pistol.
Before I get yelled at, he actually did have the op that 1 round where Rubino got that 2K on Highway.
I'm sure
he was the one all the way up Highway. So I guess they tried it once, but it never made it economically viable. Past that. So that was kind of their 1 try, 1 and done.
Oh, just a little bit of aggression. They kind of supported Lucas enough such that he could get into Sunroom, and they might have heard those footsteps. Okay. I wonder if Dignitas will go and check that out.
Let me take the reins right now for Dignitas. They know Lucas pushed, and Lucas hasn't re-aggressed yet, and they're completely waiting for him. Okay, so they can just get the kill. Oh, he actually gets the kill anyway. But now they should just hit B because they know that B's probably been forfeited if he's pushed all the way out. But I was going to say just wait and then just go back to B because they know that if he's pushed all the way out, there's no one else there.
Yeah, so they do go pretty quickly. Henny was able to take up a post in upper, a couple in lower. I imagine that might have been smoked off. Bolt's taking this first battle. Is he going to come away with the kill? Gosh. Oh, the player is a critical HP down to 4. That was Kirby. MSL taking the battle now out of mid-main, and Phelps will win that one. A shot to the chest. MSL goes down. Kirby waiting for them to hop through the vents because the bomb has been planted. Tempo Storm, though, they should have a pretty good shot at this. Phelps with the kit. Big man advantage, big HP advantage. But it's Config still inside of the site getting those kills. He can't best Henny, who's coming from upper. And now it's Rubino and Kirby. Rubino just needs to find this one, and he finally does into a 1 versus 1. Bolts. There's a kit somewhere down on the ground for him as Rubino. Oh, he's coming back.
He's good.
Yeah, and Bolts can't win that one. He was able to pick up the kit, actually.
Well, oh, my gosh. Could he have, that was like almost 5 seconds of running right there.
I mean, I imagine the bomb was planted on that back wall, so it would have been a bit of a trek to just get to the bomb, but it could have potentially been close.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think the deciding moment, I mean, like that knife stab tagged him for quite a bit. So as he's moving forward very slowly. I don't even, I mean, I don't want to call it that. That would have been crazy, but I think it almost seemed as if him getting tagged meant that he wasn't able to defuse the bomb because he had quite a bit of time there running out of the site. But it's also very different from his perspective. Didn't hear the music. Don't have the 10-second music on, so
that's true.
I have a clearer idea.
Man. I play with that. Absolutely.
No shame.
So Phelps playing close with this 5-7, but unfortunately that door opens and Kirby will challenge him from far away. But here's Bolts. He finds MSL's carrying in the bomb. Bolts, another beautiful shot onto Rubino, making a third on the Tensky. Can we get any more? Can there be another one? Make DJ Khaled proud, Bolts.
No. Wow, what a round from Tempo Storm, and specifically Bolts. That was hot and fresh. That was a cheeky 3K.
Yeah, that was a cheeky 3K, absolutely. So that hurts Dignitas, right? They win that first round, I mean, just barely, which that just barely doesn't really matter too much when it's the pistol. But losing there will hurt. That's going to throw the economy off a bit, and we do actually see the force buy coming out, going into round 18.
Wow, that's a big way to steal back the economy, and leaves us wondering how this map is going to go now that Dignitas don't have, I mean, the craziest lead ever. It just seemed like they were way more confident on the first half, in the first half on their CT side, and are probably going to be very confident on T side as well. Dignitas are well prepared, and even though some maps they might be weak against versus top teams, they have a lot of maps that they have positive win records against this year, so wouldn't be surprised if they feel perfectly fine right now.
Phelps is in quite a spot. He's going to come away with a 1 kill. He's still a little bit worried that they might have pushed over to Forklift and you just can't see because of their own smoke being in the way. And it looks like they will check him as he has a Molotov out, and he actually does get a kill with that Molotov, and he's still alive here. Can't quite finish off Tensky, who's now just on 2 HP, and all right, a nade, a distant grenade. We'll take him down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Tempo Storm survive. They get the defuse, the 10-seconder. Lucas has got all his nades. They picked up a couple of AKs. It was really nice on CT side to have the AKs. It feels like the game is becoming more and more T-sided. We see it all the time, and so part of that advantage must come down to the AKs and what that is doing for terrorists. 30 bullets, 1 bullet headshots, or 1 bullet kill, they say, something that you can't get on CT side. And I wonder. Oh, we've got 1 more round to save for Dignitas. They got to be thankful for that plant, considering they did counter force.
Let's see what... okay, so Henny does have that op. And this is a good time for him to start getting some kills, even just if it's in the eco.
So even though I think they're going to buy next round, I think they invested in these deagles because they did so much damage last round that if they get like 3 more kills here, it's going to be totally worthwhile if they're not going to have the greatest buy next round. Tempo Storm are going to be 1 away from a save, but I actually haven't done the proper calculation on their force up. And whoa, nice shot from Phelps.
Like
stayed alive too.
Was maybe even still on the ladder, but he will come away with 2. 1 from the catwalk and 1 as he drops, and then Bolts finds 3, going left, right, and then back to the left to find the kill on Kirby around quad. And Tempo Storm, that op, it wasn't actually tested yet from Henny.
Bolts.
And now Dignitas will buy up.
Bolts the man to breathe life back into Tempo Storm in this half after losing the pistol. Just now continuing that insane pressure versus the eco, making sure none of his teammates die. Dignitas spent quite a bit of money on those deagles, 700 apiece, over 4 players. And there we go. Henny, first op shot, op kill, it seems, for him. And Config, though, with a 2K at mid. Huge frags. Wow, 3 headshots to clear out mid all by himself. Gets all the trades, gets the op down, gets mid control. Man advantage is 4v2 now, and Dignitas are looking great. These were kills that Tempo Storm could not get at mid when they tried to take it.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Config, of course, you wanted to be the start of the team, but even asking for that much is quite a big ask. But he'll do it. Henny was aware that someone was on the boost. He went back for that angle, but Config playing the headshot. That one will win out. And Bolts, he's been so good, but only able to get the 1 shot. He does take down Config over those toxic barrels. But now it will fall onto Lucas. 1 versus 3. He's coming out of the Z connector, greeted by a smoke. So if he wants to go for it, he can make that forward progress. But he'll take this op and maybe just back off.
Yeah, I'd call on Lucas to be a little bit humble here in considering whether or not he should go for this retake, because they just have 3 alive. They got full health. They've just got like all site control, and they'll probably be able to spot Lucas before he's able to take a shot. So falling back, the issue for him, I guess, is that if he falls back too early, then they're going to come look for him too early, and then the bomb's going to explode after he dies. And oh yeah, they just saw the barrel. Oh my god, what a shot! It's in the genes.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately.
It's completely in the genes. It's literally a 180 gene that they have.
Nice. So 12-8 now as Dignitas will take that one away. And no op was saved, but they do have enough to buy it 1 more time. So that'll be on Henny, see if he can't do anything better with it. Just getting that 1 kill in the last round. Decent amount of utility still out on everyone on Tempo Storm. And Dignitas, of course, with the full buy and staying to the signature AK.
Big round for Dignitas to win, and in such dominant fashion as well. 2 players looking to make a late push into Squeaky, and it will be good. That was really nice from Tempo Storm. Everybody sends someone to Squeaky all on this map. It's such a valuable spot. I guess probably a good time to talk about it if no more action happens. Maybe I'll wait till the eco. But right now, just standing behind a smoke. Everyone's spamming, but
Phelps
it's
likes
really
this spot.
Tempo Storm to set the pace here. They've got 5v4, so they don't have to make any more moves. It's up to Dignitas to make them play.
And of course, as I say, that Phelps likes that spot. He just walks right across and leaves it, heading over to Forklift. Tempo Storm 5-on-4 right now on Dignitas, keeping it slow. You can see Config kind of setting up on top of the boost. He'll just be the 1 man this way. Ooh. He's going to bounce a smoke off. That looks like it'll be essentially kind of where those crisscross smokes usually land. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Just another way to throw the crisscross, so that's cool. And that'll give them mid control. No one was actually here for Tempo Storm, so they can break those vents. That much will have been heard. We can see Showtime here, and he had that smoke grenade out, just ready to extinguish the Molotov. That looked like it was kind of premeditated. And now they know he's here, obviously, but there's so much confusion, and Phelps gets 2. And that gets all a bit hectic because we kind of stayed on Showtime to see what he might do through that smoke.
What are they supposed to do, right? I mean, they know where he is at checker box, but they have to actually cross checker to get to him to spam that smoke. And there's always the risk of him just like holding an angle and spamming back and doing something really annoying, or just jumping through the smoke with a flash, which they always have to worry about. So even though they knew he smoked himself all out of that Molotov, which was a great Molotov, they didn't have a really good way to kill him. So that was interesting, and him just staying alive there is the most important part. Not getting anxious, not trying to make a play by himself, but simply staying alive. That is sometimes, I think, too far down the list of priorities for some players on CT side. They don't see the value of them staying alive. They say, like, if I don't get this kill, then maybe we lose the round. When in reality, if they just have presence somewhere, that can be enough. So
to listen to the Bee Gees a little bit more, drive that point home about staying alive, as MSL will bring down Henny with the Deagle shot. So that op is out. It was Bolt who killed Config earlier in the round. MSL playing around the sandbags. Not coming away with anything, and this is just like a straight up deco here for Dignitas. Something they do seem to be a fan of, because I've called them Dignitas before, but that's super lame, so we won't say it again. Phelps here at the fence is going to find one, drops the bomb, but there's Tensuke with another Deagle shot. 2-on-2 right now. Lots of utility for this retake, though, and absolutely nothing for Dignitas onto the post plant. And actually, okay, thinking maybe it wouldn't even be a plant. Showtime just missing out on stopping that bomb, but the retake is a success here for Tempo Storm.
how often does that happen? All too often, where someone runs a bomb wall because the bomb is being planted and they spotted the other teammate. No way that they can cover him, and just they go in for the frag. Would be really weird to not stick in that situation. I think recognizing that we're a Tempo Storm and just pushed up, even though they were doing it by themselves, it made a lot of sense. So Tempo Storm actually now just down 2 rounds, looking really good all of a sudden. And maybe a little bit more comfortable without as much strategy on the CT side, just coming down to relying on hitting their shots. They're also being aggressive in good spots, and I think it all comes down to just them being a little bit happier to be on CT side. It seems they were quite uncomfortable before this half.
Yeah, looking like a different team, and also now you've just got Henny able to hold some angles with his op. He sees that flash coming, he will dodge it. He'll tag up Rubino in the foot. They're coming over. He's going to miss that one. He's being tested here in Checker, and he might come away with nothing. It's actually the USP that will get him a kill, but Tensuke and MSL both finding something. And Showtime's going to go straight through this smoke. Had already known, I think, that Kirby posted up at that blue tarp position. So Showtime will take him down and even it up, and also gap in the smoke, and somehow it's MSL that will win out there. Showtime looked so ready.
Expected him to cross.
Yeah, and he knew that the bomb was dropped too, so someone should just quickly grab that bomb and hop across, but he couldn't stop it.
An important piece of utility there, that Molotov config, though, shutting down the B main flank, and all they have to worry about is bolts. They see him throw the incendiary, and he gets taken down by config. 2 kills in the afterplant. Dignitas up 13-10 now, and shut down that B site. Wait, no, they're the ones who hit the B site. I'm so confused.
It does happen.
It was them to take the B site with a really nice take, quick, and well, you know, Henny, we talked about in the first half how he didn't have his op enough, and maybe that's why he wasn't getting as many kills as he could. There, he did have an op, but he also missed a couple of shots, and because of that, B got stampeded. You know, that was a big reason. And it makes me wonder how much Tempo Storm actually rely on him to have really good halves, because he's so known to get 2 or 3 kills, especially on CT side. Such a great mobile operator who knows how to open up rounds in different ways versus the smartest of players. But in that situation, was not the turret I think he expected himself to be.
Yeah, definitely. And now we've got Tempo Storm. They're kind of in not too great of a place. They're going to go for a bit of a half buy. We got the scout out on at Showtime. Phelps with 5-7 and a Kevlar, and he's actually pushing to A-main. He will spot one and then fall back. Dignitas able to take that vent control, and you can see everyone now as that map is brought up, kind of heading over towards this B site.
2 players staged up in vents. We have the B split coming out. A lot of pressure now on Checker where no one is, and that means they can focus on the site now that Checker control is taken. The split is coming out, but there are 3 people here to defend. Both of them go down in the site. Lucas is actually an extra man playing at Oranges. He's looking for the headshot, finds another Deagle kill, and that leaves it 3v2 in Dignitas' favor. Bomb is going to go down. 2 players are off the site. These are perfect after plant positions with the B main plant and the man running up headshot to try to get a free frag and stop a plant in a situation where his team was saving. Gets taken out quickly, so Henny most likely not going to be able to do anything special this round. From Heaven is going to maybe try to get an exit. Knows the player on site is hurt, but it doesn't matter. Now Dignitas are up to 14, and we're 1 away from match point. This is the winner's match, the end of the best of 3, 3rd map.
So no one going home off of this, but. We see Tempo Storm, they actually did go for, kind of a bit of a half buy, light buy. You can technically call it an eco, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're managing their economy such that they can have a full buy in this round. But maybe they went a little overboard because this one's not great. You got 2 FAMAS. At least Henny can get out to the op. Kit and utility on Lucas, but everyone else is running a little low.
Have made some economic mistakes in this series alone, so not completely on the ball when it comes to their buying decisions.
And still all AKs here for Dignitas. Lots of utility, and actually Config just took a big grenade. That's a lot of damage. 42 taken from him as the spamming just keeps going here through the smoke at A. Flash to go in, but no one to push. I think actually Phelps was trying.
It seemed like he cleared.
Might have run into the wall or was just trying to clear the boost.
Yeah, it seemed like he just cleared that, so I'm not sure if he actually did or not. But either way, he heard some footsteps off of the flash. That's more than enough information that people are in A main. Tensky's also very low in this situation. Wow, these Molotovs are fierce. No one's playing forklift today.
No, almost the entire site is on fire right now. Bolts is in like the one position he could possibly stand at that was in this site. He will now slide back over to quad, realizing all that fire went down. There should be no more.
A smoke missing in this situation is a quad smoke because that can create some suspicion as to whether or not you're going to actually take A, but they didn't smoke it out. But Config trades out the mid player 1 for 1. It just basically resets the round, except for that Dignitas have used all their resources already, so are going to be relying on hitting shots, and it looks like a pretty dry B split is in store for Tempo Storm, who have 2 in place to defend.
Yeah, one of them's Henny, right? Trying to make amends for that previous round at Checker where he really tried to do it all himself and couldn't do much. And, well, that's unfortunate. Lucas actually took aim punch because he doesn't have that head armor. Lucky to be alive with that 1 kill. Henny gets 1 and done, too, as Config's going to run in. So we've got a 1 versus 1. Config versus Bolts, and it's Bolts from up top that will extend this. They get out to their 11th round.
He didn't quite realize where he was, where he got shot from originally, and tried to jump up on the site and got taken down. But I think that was a little bit of a misstep from Dignitas, who wanted to run it back to B, but without any attempt to control rotations properly. I mean, they had 2 smokes go down on the site, but they were both in similar spots. If they just had one go down for the truck cross and then one go down at quad, then you can't actually tell if people are out toxic. They cleared out fork, which is perfect, so they know no one has a line of sight on A main. They could have just pretended that they were out on the site and then sent that rotate over to B, and only had 1 player to deal with, but instead they just burned their resources and didn't cause any rotations to go in their favor.
Oh, and Showtime, here he is in this corner, completely blind, but it won't really matter. Phelps is in here getting it done. Showtime will go for it, get 1 more, switch out to the Deagle. Tries to get back to the FAMAS, but it was empty. So Config getting 2 kills with this Tech 9, but it's heading up top. They will secure the round with that op shot. 2 to survive for Tempo Storm, so that does limit the economy, and that could make this comeback that they have to go for quite difficult.
Yeah, both teams clearly back in this. Tempo looking to get serious one more time. 2 away from evening up. And Dignitas, that means 1 buy for Dignitas pretty much. And then most likely a save, so potentially 1 opportunity for Tempo Storm to straight up tie this game.
Well, here's Henny out in the middle.
Whoa. Oh.
Tell you what, did you try to shoot through the wall there?
Yeah.
That's the smack spot? Yeah.
It's close.
Looking for it. And no one there now, and actually, since he's kind of given it away, that he is there and that he is opping, maybe he's remembering what Config did to him in a round previous. He's like, you know what? Let's give up mid control. MSL will break the vent. That's going to be heard. There is a player nested back there in Checker behind the box for Tempo Storm. Still 5-on-5 right now, but 1:15 to go here in round 27.
Tempo not shy to go look for information. Here we have Phelps seeking it out in A main. He's got control of it, but he's pushing out aggressively and kills Kirby, knocks the bomb down, goes down 1 for 1, however, and has no one to back him up. I wonder if he overextended in that situation.
Yeah, it seems like he kind of hesitated. Like, he pushed forward for a second and was like, you know what, I should fall back. But just at that point, the hesitation cost him. And here's Henny hitting an op shot. Bolts now as well chiming in. It's Tensky just going to limit Henny to the 1 kill, just like the 1 in his name. And there's Bolts finding a second on the round before he is cleaned up. And Rubino, he's got 2 of his own already. He'll need to get 2 more.
I've honestly seen Rubino do this a million times. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes this possible. He has the opportunity to get the bomb down. Obviously, Tempo have this round in their favor right now. Having 2 players alive, 1 player spotted. Rubino looking for the first frag, doesn't find it, and gets taken down by the teammate of Lucas. That's Showtime. Tempo Storm.
That was well done by Showtime.
Yeah.
Just realizing Lucas was in the fight for his life. Showtime is like just running in so quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Secures that round, definitely.
Definitely can't be too scared. Sometimes you got to bait your team. Sometimes you got to bait your teammates. Sometimes you just got to jump in together when there's no opportunity but to double peek, and it's just good synergy that shows in that situation.
Oh wow! What a time for an unfortunate technical error by the looks of it with the PC crash that could slow things down and actually kind of giving Dignitas a free timeout.
Yeah, that's true. That is we could see MSL already talking in the midst of this timeout to try to make the most of it. I wonder if it's just a quick restart that's needed or if it's a bigger problem. But thankfully it happened. But thankfully we're still in freeze time.
Yeah, it wasn't a mid-round thing. It actually hasn't even dropped out of the server quite yet, so it might have just been something locking up. But I'm sure they'll get that under control. What is
on both halves? And the thing is, for Tempo Storm, since they started out badly, it felt like they were just going to continue to play badly. But we saw they got way more comfortable moving into the second half. And now we're the critical moment. Like, this is such a critical round. Like, Tempo Storm have the ability to probably get a 2-for-1 here. Actually,
well, that's a flick.
Dignitas are almost going to forfeit to 14-14 unless they miraculously win this.
All right, there's a smoke down for Showtime to give him some extra angles to work with as Team Dignitas are just funneling in here into the B site. They quickly got out mid. Henny missed the shot there. Now trying to storm onto the site. Tensky, he can't make it. He'll be brought down. Everyone stays alive for Tempo Storm. That's now 4 rounds in a row for them to catch everyone up, as we did have that big break in between.
This is recipe for OT right here.
Yeah.
Like, this is just exactly how it happens. One team performs a comeback. We've got Tempo Storm winning 4 rounds in a row while Dignitas have stayed 1 away from match point. Suddenly Dignitas win a round, then they win 2. No,
yeah.
I think there's more likelihood of OT right now than anything else, but I think that's just maybe based on superstition, maybe based on how results influence results live. I think we've just seen it happen so often. But actually, if Tempo Storm win this, it might be a 2-for-1.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas, well, they should at least be on a buy, kind of forced buy, or almost full buy rotation, just because of the nature of the T side. This will push them over to having that max loss bonus. And Tempo Storm are not in any danger of getting reset after that last round, keeping 5 alive. Phelps trying to work around this smoke, and they're going to walk right past it. They don't see it. Config, he's not going to. He loses that. Phelps actually getting them both right there. Not Config can have the response. Rubino tries to go over the top of the site. That one won't work out. Henning gets 1 shot. He's actually been mostly 1 and done for the most time in his op shots, but at least here in the second half, he is present. He is killing people.
Wow.
And that's Tempo Storm up to
Phelps
match
got a 4K?
point. And yeah, Phelps does get a 4K there.
Are you serious?
That's
31 frags? Man, that highway play too, perfectly timed. And that trade should have happened immediately, but it didn't. And Phelps is, man, playing out of his mind. And so glad I shouted him out before the game started, because it just seemed like most of the time he doesn't get 30 kills, right? He just plays fairly well and then goes under the radar, but this is like an outstanding performance. And he's in like the highest kill spot on CT side, and he's really been influential in their comeback right now. Showtime picking up a auto sniper to complement the op on the other side of the map. This helps out the CT so much because they don't have to move around even if they lose a man. And on top of that, it's just an insane amount of firepower to have late round when Dignitas choose a place to go to. Further, Dignitas have no idea that they picked up this auto sniper, so they might just run into it.
That could be massive.
Yeah.
We did hear some regrets the other day from Abe about purchasing an auto sniper, but let's see if the same thing will hold for Tempo Storm. And there's not much utility for Dignitas, so this big surprise of the Scar 20 could just be the nail in the coffin here. And look at Phelps, man, 31 kills. This man's confident. He got 4K in the last round. He's just pushing through.
Jeez, he's actually pushing up to A main, and it seems like everybody's moving over towards B as soon as he has this control. And he gets the kill, the bomb goes down.
He doesn't really need to re-aggress. He throws that fire, still hesitant that someone maybe would push through, try to do the unexpected. And now Phelps just sliding over into another position.
I think he's fully aware that somebody might be inside of Squeaky. Some pressure being put on B right now. Rotations are actually coming out while the bomb is staged up in Squeaky, so who knows what's going to happen here? Well, now we do. Phelps with a 2K. Insane spray control. Lucas gets the final kill, and Tempo Storm hugging each other because they're so excited. And what a comeback. Amazing 16-14 win. Map 3 to close it out.
Phelps just looking so good there at the end. I mean,
34 kills.
He's in that smoke on short, on highway, whatever you want to call it. Highway is a very tough position to kind of work up because you're always worried you might get peeked from sight, toxic, or even like the truck wall, and they don't spend their time maybe trying to clear out the smoke. Phelps gets 2 there, and then we didn't see the other ones, but he finishes it off with 2 more for the 4K. Then he's feeling so good, he walks into A main, he gets all that information there for his team, so they start sliding over to B.
Yeah.
There's some telegraph play there by Dignitas, and then the more utility comes out from Tempo Storm to stop that take. Then Dignitas are completely out, and Tempo Storm just win the battles right there. And that was basically it. That last round was almost flawlessly played.
So important not to
Storm.
be scared, especially just because like you're on match point. And for him to get that information at A main, also get a kill, and then convert it into a sight hold when Dignitas were trying to sell a fake, it just all resulted in such a beautiful round by Phelps, and he just did such enormous work throughout that half and series.
Yeah, and then the big player, I think I noted when we went into that little break because of some of the technical issues, Config was up at like 27 kills, so he was doing fantastic there on Dignitas, but Phelps just 1-upping him, and they are moving on. And with that, we're